What if the secrets of safe childbirth were taught by a goddess herself, passed down through generations of women who held the power of life and death in their hands? In the mystical realm of ancient Greece, where gods walked among mortals and divine wisdom shaped everyday life, one goddess stood as the sacred guardian of birth itself. Eileithyia, daughter of mighty Zeus and jealous Hera, possessed the extraordinary power to ease or prolong the pains of labor. Her very name meant, "she who comes to aid." And for thousands of years, Greek women whispered prayers to her during their most vulnerable moments. Picture the ancient world around 800 BCE, when Greece was a collection of independent city-states scattered across the Mediterranean. In this world without modern medicine, childbirth was a perilous journey that claimed the lives of countless mothers and babies. Women relied on the wisdom of experienced midwives, herbal remedies, and, above all, the divine protection of Eileithyia. The goddess herself appears in Homer's Iliad, where she's described as having the power to determine the fate of every birth. But Eileithyia wasn't just a distant divine figure. She was intimately connected to the practical world of midwifery, teaching mortal women the sacred arts of assisting in childbirth. Legend tells us that Eileithyia first learned her craft during the most famous birth in Greek mythology. When her mother Hera discovered Zeus's affair with the mortal woman Leto, she flew into a jealous rage. Hera commanded that no land should give Leto sanctuary to give birth to her children. Leto wandered the earth in agony, her labor prolonged by Hera's curse. Finally, the floating island of Delos took pity on Leto and provided refuge. But even then, Hera prevented Eileithyia from attending the birth. For 9 days and nights, Leto suffered in excruciating pain, while the other goddesses tried desperately to help her. Only when they offered Eileithyia a magnificent necklace of gold and amber did she defy her mother's orders and rush to Delos. The moment Eileithyia arrived, she knelt beside Leto and placed her hands upon the laboring woman. She whispered ancient incantations and guided Leto through breathing techniques that eased her pain. Within hours, Apollo, the god of healing and light, was born. This experience taught Eileithyia the profound responsibility that came with her divine gift. From this pivotal moment, Eileithyia began developing the sacred methods she would later teach to mortal midwives. She understood that successful childbirth required more than divine intervention. It demanded practical knowledge, emotional support, and skilled hands. The goddess's first teaching concerned the importance of creating a sacred birthing space. Ancient Greek midwives, following Eileithyia's guidance, would purify the birthing room with burning herbs like artemisia and rosemary. They would invoke the goddess's presence by placing small clay figurines of Eileithyia in the 4 corners of the room, each one showing the goddess with her arms raised in blessing. Eileithyia taught that the laboring woman should never be alone. She instructed midwives to surround the mother with experienced women who could offer both practical assistance and emotional support. These birth attendants would massage the woman's back with olive oil infused with healing herbs, a technique that Eileithyia had perfected during her divine interventions. The goddess revealed the secret of proper positioning during labor. Unlike many cultures that required women to lie flat, Greek midwives learned from Eileithyia to encourage different positions that worked with gravity and the natural process of birth. Women could squat, kneel, or sit on specially designed birthing stools that allowed for easier delivery. One of Eileithyia's most important teachings involved recognizing the signs of complications. She showed midwives how to feel the position of the baby, how to detect if the umbilical cord was wrapped around the neck, and when to attempt to turn a breech baby. These techniques, passed down through generations of Greek midwives, saved countless lives. The goddess also emphasized the power of breath and voice during labor, She taught midwives to guide women through rhythmic breathing patterns that helped manage pain and promote the natural progression of birth. Women were encouraged to vocalize their pain through chanting or singing, believing that Eileithyia herself would hear their calls and respond with relief. Herbal knowledge formed another crucial aspect of Eileithyia's teachings. The goddess revealed which plants could strengthen contractions, which could ease pain, and which could prevent excessive bleeding after birth. Artemisia, sacred to her aunt Artemis, could speed up slow labor. Willow bark provided pain relief. Red raspberry leaves strengthened the uterus. Eileithyia's influence extended beyond the moment of birth itself. She taught midwives the sacred rituals of welcoming a new soul into the world. The umbilical cord was cut with a special bronze knife while prayers were offered for the child's future. The placenta was buried under a fruit tree, symbolizing the hope that the child would grow strong and fruitful. The goddess also provided guidance for the challenging cases that tested every midwife's skill. When twins were expected, special rituals honored both Eileithyia and her twin brother Apollo. When a baby was born too early, delicate techniques for keeping the infant warm and helping it breathe were employed. When mothers faced life-threatening complications, desperate prayers and specific herbal treatments were prescribed. Throughout ancient Greece, midwives carried special amulets blessed in Eileithyia's temples. These sacred objects, often made of silver and shaped like the goddess with her hands raised in blessing, were believed to channel her divine power directly to the birthing woman. Many archaeological sites have uncovered these precious amulets, testament to the widespread devotion to the goddess. The training of midwives followed Eileithyia's divine curriculum. Young women who showed aptitude for healing would apprentice with experienced practitioners for several years. They learned anatomy by observing animal births, practiced massage techniques on willing volunteers, and memorized the hundreds of prayers and incantations that invoked the goddess's aid. Eileithyia's compassionate nature made her particularly beloved among common women. Unlike some Greek deities, who seemed distant and capricious, she was seen as a goddess who truly understood female suffering and worked tirelessly to alleviate it. Her temples became gathering places where women shared knowledge about pregnancy, birth, and child-rearing. The goddess's teachings weren't limited to physical techniques. She emphasized the importance of emotional and spiritual preparation for birth. Pregnant women were encouraged to spend time in meditation, connecting with their unborn children and preparing mentally for the challenges ahead. This holistic approach recognized that successful childbirth involved the entire being, not just the physical body. Eileithyia's influence on ancient Greek society extended far beyond individual births. Her emphasis on skilled female practitioners helped establish midwifery as a respected profession. These women held important positions in their communities, often serving as healers and counselors for all aspects of women's health. The goddess's legacy lived on through the centuries, inspiring medical practitioners in the Hellenistic period and beyond. Her techniques were recorded in ancient medical texts, ensuring that her wisdom would survive even as religious practices changed. Today, many of Eileithyia's teachings seem remarkably modern. Her emphasis on emotional support during labor, the importance of movement and positioning, the value of experienced female attendants, and the recognition that birth is a natural process that sometimes needs gentle assistance rather than aggressive intervention, all align with contemporary evidence-based maternity care. The story of Eileithyia reminds us that the desire to make childbirth safer and more humane is as old as humanity itself. In honoring this ancient goddess, we honor all the women throughout history who have dedicated their lives to bringing new life safely into the world, carrying forward the divine wisdom of she who comes to aid.